The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cellar 13 Films, Dips, Films, and Scripts. My name is Glenn Spillman, and you are listening on Armed Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts. I'm here in sunny California. I mean, I don't know what the weather is like in Boston. I didn't check today, but here it's 72 degrees. Can't get much more perfect than 72 degrees, nice warm sun, about 3 to 5 feet of waves, depending on where you go. Awesome freaking stuff. Anyway, we've got a good show, as we always do, and we're going to be talking about, the title of the show is about how to prepare for a film festival. And the reason why I'm talking about that particularly today is because that's what I've been doing since last night at 7 o'clock. We will go over that. We'll talk a little bit about some of the films that are coming out this week. And Zepton 1, welcome to the show. We're going to be talking about some of the films. I have not seen any of these yet, so please, for those of you watching, no spoiler alerts, or I will find you and I will do a Jason / Michael Myers / Freddy Krueger on your arse. So, the Smash Sista, welcome to the show. We got Jason Wise over here on our Facebook platform. But at any time during the show, folks, you can ask questions as long as it has to do with film industry, acting, anything that has to do with film, in front of the scenes, behind the scenes. I want to give a couple shout-outs to some people that will be watching the show and that I am working with. There's a gentleman by the name of Sean Taylor that is getting ready to pop his directorial cherry, May of next year. And you will know Sean Taylor because he's my co-host for the show. He is not with us tonight, and rightfully so, because it is his husband's birthday today, and I said, nope, can't be on the show. You go celebrate the birthday with your husband. So, happy birthday, Daniel, brother, and many, many more after that. Don't know what they're doing tonight, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. So he wrote a film, and it's called Camper's Well. Camper's Well, I'm not going to give too much away on the synopsis, but I will let you know it is a science fiction film. Basically, it's about a group of kids, 19, 21-year-olds, and they go back to Camper's Well, that there was an abduction that happened with some children. They're about 15, 20 years prior to that. They go back there to investigate that, and ultimately they get an encounter, if you will, and then they end up on an alien ship in about, a little less than half the film is basically them trying to get off the ship. And it's I'm not going to give too much out about it, but it's a great script. Sean is going to be directing it. I am co-director, and I'm also going to be, I am, not going to be, I am. And I've been doing it for a while, producing the film. And one of the things that a producer does is help get funding for the film. Every single show that I do, whether it's sports or the film or anything that I do, I talk about this film because we are still in the process of raising money for the film. So, there are several platforms that you filmmakers can use to raise money for a film. F7A, welcome to the show. You could use Kickstarter, you could use GoFundMe, or you could use Indiegogo. Now, there's nothing wrong with Kickstarter or GoFundMe. Absolutely not. But Indiegogo was basically made for indie artists and whatnot. But you could use any. These aren't the only platforms either. There's a company out of Australia that got a hold of me. They sent me an email a few days ago. Cellar, welcome to the show. It's called The Green Room, and it is an app that helps you raise money for your films, and it incorporates you with other filmmakers, actors, everything like that. Now, you can go to GoFundMe.com, and then you search Campers Well, and it'll be the picture in the middle of the blue skies, trees, stars, Campers Well. We have already locked in Tuesday night. Who was involved in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We locked in Victor Miller, who wrote Friday the 13th, several other things that he's written. He's been acting in several films. He's won 3 Emmys for his writings on the daytime soap operas. And I got to stop right there. Daytime soap operas, I got to admit, my mother got me hooked on them as a kid. I used to watch Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives. And oddly enough, as I got older and, in the acting world and everything, I've worked with a lot of the actors on these daytime soaps because they would do seminars, they would do acting classes, whether it was a weekend, 2 weeks, or whatever. And I met tons of actors that way over the years doing that kind of thing. Richard Biggs was Marcus on Days of Our Lives. He was also the Doctor on Babylon 5. But he's passed now, so cheers to him. But we've got those 2 locked in. We've got a couple other people. I'm not going to say their name. No, I'm going to say one name. Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell played Ash. Ash versus the Evil Dead is going on right now. So we're talking to these other people, but we got 2 locked in. And we're trying to raise $60,000 to do a feature film. And if you think about that, think about what it takes to make a film. In a full feature length, the script right now, it sits at 112 pages. Alan Tudyk, Tudyk, we are in discussions with him right now. Thank you, Andy Anthony, for that, reaching out to that individual. So, $60,000 really isn't much to do a feature film. It sits at, he was in Star Wars and Firefly. If you think about some of the great films that was made on a budget, look at Blair Witch Project. Now, in the beginning, when Blair Witch came out, in the beginning, it was rumored that it cost him $15,000 to $25,000 to make the film. This was way back when it came out. And then over the years that they've been talking and putting stuff up on the internet, now all of a sudden it's up to, depending on the website you go to, it could be $40,000, it could be up to $60,000. But it wasn't over $70,000. I know that for a fact. It is made, I believe, the last time I checked, it was around almost $200 million, and some of them is like $205 million worldwide on this. So, go check out GoFundMe.com and search Campers Well and check that out. If you guys would love to know who we are at Cellar 13 Films, go to Cellar13Films.com. The Maven 217, welcome. Go to Cellar13Films.com. It'll tell you who we are, what we do, what we've done, what we are in the works. We have a new film online magazine out. It is Movie Lovers Unite. Now, Movie Lovers Unite is everything film. Every little thing. So under movies, we got genres, how it's done, props, reviews, the business, interviews, music and film. We've got an acting tab. We've got how I broke into acting, the do's and don'ts. We've got a tab for crew, cinematography, writer's corner. Writer's corner, we've got creative writing. We've got a tab for script writing. And then a young lady where is her book? A young lady by the name of Lynn Gibson wrote this book right here. For those of you that are viewing can see. It's called The Wicked Truth. Okay? And and it is a wicked book, and it's got some really controversial stuff in it, but not in a negative way. So she has her own column on our magazine, and she's under Writer's Corner, and more specifically, she's known as the Twisted Horror Queen. And I'm not talking a horror, I'm talking horror. Twisted Horror Queen. So she's got her own. We've got a tab for sound, gear. It's DIY, so we show you how, like I did an article on how to build your own boom pole. I was talking to our sound guy last night, Donovan Murphy, and before he left, he's like, hey, Glenn, I bought me a new boom pole. It's carbon fiber. So we could extend that thing out 15, 20 feet, and it stays straight. It doesn't bend. Well, if you are a new filmmaker and you need something on the fly for $25 or less, go to movieloversunite.com, go to the gear section, hit the DIY, and I show you step by step what to buy, how to put it together. For $25, you got a boom pole. And then the last one, we have one on special effects. So we've got writers that will show you, how they got broke into the business, why they broke into business. We're going to have instructional videos on how to do simple prosthetics to complicated prosthetics, but just like a chef. One of the hardest things to make as a chef, and you can ask any chef, even Gordon Ramsay himself, is the egg. The almighty egg that plops out of a freaking chicken's arse. And Jake Henry Pancake, welcome to the show. An egg is one of the hardest things to make in food. Some of these simple things in makeup, we'll just say, for the sake of argument, hey, I want you to make me look like I've been dead for a day. Make me look like a corpse. Something that should be pretty simple. You paste out the face. You make it look ashy white a little bit, not too much. You don't make it look like Beetlejuice. You make it look like, unless you're going for that look, but to something so simple, and we're going to walk you through. I mean, we've got several makeup artists on staff that we're going to show you how to do cuts, bruises, gashes, tears, camera-ready makeup. We're going to show you how to do stage makeup, make you look like a Smurf. So we do all that stuff. And so anyone out there that would like to be a contributing writer for the magazine, you could go to the website, and my contact information is up there. Or you could just email me at glenn@cellar13films.com, and I'll get you hooked up. And it's a once-a-month publication. It's online right now. We are talking to several sponsors, and what we're going to do is we are going to try and launch probably around the first of the year in print. And then we're going to do Northern California first, and then we'll spread to Southern California as far as the print magazine goes. So, all of this talk, and two more things. Go to our Facebook page, Cellar 13 Films, and our Facebook group, Cellar 13 Films, and join there, and we could discuss things all day, every day. Now, how many of you guys, girls out there, that have gone to the movies last night or today, or that are going to be going to the movies tonight? So tell me, A, if you've gone to the movies, and B, what you've seen, even in the past week, and then we will go over the films that have come out the most anticipated film, which they started promoting last fall. Now, if you remember last fall, you will remember that there were a lot of people being scared by clowns. There were clowns walking down the street, standing on the street corner, all over the place. Well, that was a year in advance that they were preparing for the film It by Stephen King. And my favorite genre, the Maven says, I'll be seeing American Assassin. That was pretty cool, actually. American Assassin, I like that. And we'll go over that. So, it says it opens today, September 8th, but technically it opened here in my neck of the woods last night. It is 2 hours and 50 minutes. It's horror. Horror is absolutely my favorite genre. I love horror for many reasons. In horror, you've got about 14 to 16 subgenres. But horror, it usually is not happy. It shocks you. It can disgust you. It can scare you. But when you have a mind, and there's many writers out there that write horror, but it takes when you could dive into a certain realm of horror. We'll say like Stephen King. He's got a special brain for horror, and then there's other people that write stuff like the Saw movies. Dude NG, welcome to the show. Then there's horror suspense. There's the slasher movies. You've got John Carpenter. You've got Wes Craven. You've got all these people that create these horror films. And if you think back, we'll just say 10 years ago, Andy Anthony, welcome to the show, brother. Most of the time, horror movies, Purple Gem, welcome to the show, came out usually around October. It's like, Christmas movies come out in November, December. Back in the day, horror movies just came out around Halloween-ish. But now you can get horror movies coming out any time of the year. So you've got It coming out. I am curious to see. I'm not going to look up what it is now. But I'm curious to see what it makes this weekend. Purple Gem, I think already. But, I'm trying to find the budget for It. $35 million. $35 million bucks. Which, if you think about movies, and I know $35 million seems like a lot of cash, but if you think about the movies, $35 million is not that much to make a film, depending on special effects, stuff like that, and how many people you've got working on it. And if you have special effects, how many artists. Like, if you look at the Marvel films, and if you look at DC films, you can go through the credits, and you could count 200-plus artists that are working on the film. But the running time, like I said, it's 135 minutes, $35 million budget, and it's already made $13.5 million already. And it's only 5:21 at night. That's local, not worldwide. Magic Jim, welcome to the show, brother. Jim, how you doing, man? So I'm interested to see, there are some people out there that have an absolute freaking fear of clowns. Me, I've never been afraid of a clown. I don't care about clowns. I'll slap them up the side. I don't care. They don't scare me at all. I could be walking down the street at 1 o'clock in the morning in a dark alley, and it still wouldn't scare me. But some people are frightened of clowns in broad daylight. I encourage. This is what I encourage people to do before they go see It. I would encourage you to go to see the original one first, and then go see the one that just came out. I like doing stuff like that, just kind of refresh. But I mean, it started at 11 o'clock this morning, like just down the street. They've got 11, 12:30, 2:15, 3:45, 5:30, 7, 8:45, 9:15, 10:15. But if you go to, I'm going to see, because we've got a drive-in theater down the street, too. And I want to see if it is playing at the drive-in. And if it is, I want to see how late it's playing, because there are some, 10:30 is the last in some of these theaters. I don't see the drive-in. No, I don't see the drive-in. But most of those drive-ins, they'll start a movie at midnight, and that's kind of cool. Speaking of midnight, I remember back in the day when I was in high school, my friends and I, we got Pat Chapman, we've got Burt Carranza, we've got Leif Yonker, and myself, Glenn Spillman. We were, the rebel Rat Pack, man. And we would go to Birdcage Lanes, and they had what they call midnight movies. And midnight movies, you can go in, and they had 3 theaters. You had heavy metal that was playing. You had Pink Floyd The Wall that was playing, or maybe some other horror movie that was playing. And then you had always the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And if you haven't seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show live in a theater, I implore you to go do it one time. It is unlike any other movie experience that you will encounter. There's people throwing rice, throwing bread. Dick James, welcome to the show. Square guns, all that kind of stuff. Up there manipulating the screen, singing the song, dressing up like the characters. Cats and dogs living with each other. I mean, it is absolutely fun. It's mayhem. It's exciting. But if you've never done it before, it could be a little intimidating. But I did it at 14 years old, man. And had a great time. So, and then they had midnight films. I mean, even today, they've got theaters. Sunrise, you can go for $3.95 for that. But the films, I mean, you've got like It, you've got Home Again, Arjun, Ready. The Mav says, don't let anyone know you're a virgin in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know what? That's actually, don't do that, because they will get you out of your seat. Everybody will know, and then they do this dance and song. And it's pretty freaking cool, though. But yeah, don't. Desert Liz, welcome to the show. Annabelle's still out there. No. I am not a Rocky Horror version. No, I've been to it many times. Many times. Has anyone seen The Dark Tower? That's another Stephen King book. Dark Tower. Has anyone seen that? Matthew McConaughey. I have not seen it yet. To be quite honest, I've been so tied up in getting these films. I'm in production on a film. I'm in pre-production on 2 films. And I'm currently in production of a 10x10 competition, which we'll dive into that here in a moment. Spider-Man Homecoming. That is interesting. So, let's jump into the 10x10. Okay? So, the 18th Annual Sacramento Film and Music Festival, September 22nd through 24th. They got some stuff going on starting next Wednesday. They have films from all over the world that are playing there. If you want to check it out, go to sacfilm.com and just go see the listings and everything there. The 2017 schedule, it actually starts Tuesday, September 19th. There's a filmmaker reception. Then Friday, you've got 10 films being played. Now, these films The longest one is 26 minutes and 5 seconds, and the shortest one is 2 minutes and 58 seconds. And then at 10 o'clock, you have a feature film, Stones, directed by, if I can say your name right, Roydon, R-O-Y-D-O-N, Roydon Turner. So it's an hour and a half. They got some great films, but if you guys want to go to watch our film, Cellar 13 Films, our film, go to sacfilm.com, hit the 10 by 10 challenge tab, and then, well, I might make a liar out of myself. No, you could go on the tab and attending the fest. You could buy tickets to the premiere on September 24th, along with 24 other filmmakers. Now this is the challenge. We met at the steps of the Capitol last night at 7 p.m. And we were, they told us some basic parameters of it, and then they gave us the rules. So basically, we have 10 days. Black Sox 23, welcome to the show. We got 10 days to write the film, cast the film, film it, edit it, and have it turned in by 6 p.m. September 17th. Now let me read you some of the basic things. I can't tell you too much about it because we have been explicitly told we cannot talk too much about it because we'll get disqualified. But I can tell you this. I can tell you the rules. I'm not going to tell you the content or anything like that. I'm not going to give anything away. But the requirements, there's 3 requirements of the film. Number 1, they give us a prop. We have to use a prop that they give us in the film some way, somehow. That's requirement number 1. Requirement element number 2 is a quote. We are given a quote, and we have to put that quote within the dialogue somewhere, somehow, in the film. Required element number 3, we have to do a film reference. Within our film, Freaky 10, welcome to the show, we have to reference some kind of well-known theatrical release film that has to do with what we're doing. Ikarian 23, welcome to the show. For those of you just joining the show, you're watching and listening to Cellar 13 Films, Chips, Dips, Films, and Scripts. My name is Glenn Spillman. My co-host Sean Taylor is celebrating his husband's birthday tonight. And you're listening to us on Armed Radio. Armed Radio, ladies and gentlemen. We are in over 60 countries. We have over 3 million listeners throughout the week, worldwide. And awesome stuff. So you could listen to us on Armed Radio. You can go to our Facebook page and watch us. You can go to Periscope TV, Cellar 13 Films for everybody. Someone says, I live in Cambodia. Angelina Jolie's film, First They Kill. My father just opened. September 15th. Okay, so here's a bonus optional. And the show's about how to prepare for a festival competition. There will be, we have an inclusion. So the bonus element is a reference to some kind of film that is well-known character from children's literature or film. So, Sean Taylor wrote this script. He stayed up to about, I think, 3 o'clock in the morning writing, like, the second draft, and today he did another 2 drafts. So he got done with the script about 2:30 this afternoon. And I'm going to read you the other rules here in a minute. But the film has to be 8 minutes or less. Can't be 8 minutes 1 second. It has to be 8 minutes or less. That includes credits front and back. we cannot tell you, and I'm not going to tell you what the theme is, and I'm not going to tell you what it's about. If you guys want to see the film, and you're in Northern California, you go to sacfilm.com, and you click on, and you buy tickets. You can buy it on Eventbrite, and our film will be showing at the IMAX Theater September 24th, and it's going to be at the Esquire IMAX Theater. So go check that out. You could Facebook me or and I will tell you how to get tickets. So here are some other rules that I think is pretty. There's 10 of them, so bear with me. I'm going to expand this. I might have to put on the old glasses here. So here are the. If I could probably read it without these. I'm getting a glare over here. So here are the rules. Only teams and projects sanctioned at or prior to the launch or otherwise by the festival directors will be entered. There was a time limit to get in on this film festival, and if your name was not put in there and you weren't registered, you can't be in it. So only rule number 2, only officially sanctioned teams that have met all deadlines, rules, and thematic requirements will have their videos screened. Meaning, if you get your film in on time, if you have the film the correct length or less, if you got all the elements in your film, then they will be like, okay, we'll screen your film. But if you miss any of those, they reserve the right to be like, nope, we're not going to show your film for the competition. We might show it as a subsidiary, but you're not going to be eligible for any awards or anything. So it's very important. See, these competitions have rules, and these rules are what make the competition exciting because, again, we've got 10 days to write a film, cast the film, film it, edit it, have it turned in. We cannot turn it in via the mail, internet, or anything. We have to hand deliver it to these people. So rule number 3, teams are self-forming. The festival is not responsible for massing potential team members or forming teams. So to help you guys on the first, on getting prepared for any festival, whether it's a 24-hour, 48-hour, 60, 72, or 10-day film festival. When you find out that the festival competition is coming up, what you can do is prepare yourself. It's called pre-production. Prepare yourself. You need a director. You need a director of photography. You need an editor, and you need a sound guy. And you need a script. You need those 5 basic things. Then you need someone to run the slate, lighting, grip, production assistant, assistant director, assistant camera, script supervisor, continuity. You guys could, under 10 people, and so when we got to the steps of the Capitol, we had no idea what was going on. None. They gave us a white envelope. Inside that white envelope was a smaller envelope. The white envelope had the rules and everything. The smaller envelope had the theme, the dialogue that we had to use. But from that moment on, we had to go. And so we went and we brainstormed. For about 3 hours, we brainstormed. It was a roller coaster ride. But, it's things that happen in a competition. I mean, you gotta make snap decisions this quick, because literally, ask the people welcome to the show. Every second counts during all this. And people had some great ideas, wonderful ideas. But you got to keep in mind that this film festival, we have 8 minutes to make a film. And everything that we want to convey within that film, we have to do it within 8 minutes. Literally. If it is 8 minutes, if it is 1 second over, then you're kicked out. So here's the thing about festivals. Here's why there are rules. There are rules for, number 1, to see if you know how to follow rules. Number 2, they want to see if you can handle the pressure. And number 3, they want to see if you're given a tight schedule and a tight parameter of rules, can you make a film? And this translates. So, for instance, if, all right, I'm just going to call them out. Bruce Campbell. On Bruce Campbell's website, you can get a hold of Bruce Campbell and you could talk to him about being in your film and whatnot. But on their website, they explicitly say first-time directors need not apply. Don't even talk to us. But if you have a couple film festivals under your belt, on anybody, whether anywhere in the film industry, you can be like, you know what, I work well under pressure. You can even put this on a regular resume. I work well under pressure. Oh yeah, I made a film in 10 days and here were the rules. I work well with parameters. I work well with rules. So this is, again, one of the reasons why that they have these rules. Number 5 is the 2-part rule. A, there's no submission fee for this program. No complimentary tickets passes will be issued. So when I signed up for this film festival, my requirement was I had to buy 2 tickets. Tickets are $15 a piece, and I bought 2 of them. So if you've got 25 filmmakers that have to buy 2 tickets, well, automatically they just sold 50 tickets. Now, the IMAX theater were 350, 400 people that fit in there. Though people that show up for the festival, your friends, family, all that kind of stuff, that's what helps support this film festival that these guys have been putting on for all of these years. You know? So here is the 7th rule. The finished video from the first to last images, inclusive of all titles and credits, must have a running time of no more than 8 minutes. And it has to be PG-13. You could do 1 F-bomb in the PG-13, but it can't be, it has to be something that's making a statement. It can't be like, oh, you can't be asking someone to F you. You have to be like, oh, F me. To be used like that. So 1 time, that's it. Number 8, number 9, the deadline for submissions is exactly 10 days from the start of the launch. At 7 p.m. Sunday, September 17th, films must be hand-delivered, and they give us a place to hand-deliver it to, and given to Nate or Tony between 6 and 7 p.m. on that date. No other delivery location option is permitted without prior approval from Nate or Tony. So anyone that's watching the show that's in the film competition, I behoove you to get your film in on time. My editor last year, some things were going on, and I had to rush. I mean, we're talking 45 minutes, and I barely got there with 2 minutes to spare. If you show up at 7 o'clock and 1 second, you're done. Because, again, that's another part of the rule. They want to see if you could work under these parameters. It shows a lot of character in people, and it shows a lot of your work ethic and your organizational skills. These are why these rules are put into place. Rule number 10, and the most important rule, filmmakers agree not to screen the finished product at any time or in any venue prior to the official festival screening or to announce future screening plans prior to that time. Let me explain that to you, for those of you that may not know. Meaning, do not show them to your brother, your mother, your father, your sister, your cousins, uncles, aunts, grandparents, boyfriends, girlfriends, any other relationship that you have. You cannot show that film to anybody. If you do, you're done. Because here's the reason. They want people to come to the IMAX theater and watch the film and enjoy it. Not just your film, but the 24 other films that all of these filmmakers have worked just as hard to make happen. I have a business partner, and he said this morning, hey man, what's it about? I didn't tell him. Because if you're not on the team and you're not involved in the production, I can't tell you. My daughter, I can't even tell her. And she's 15 years old. I can't tell her, I can't show her nothing. Because, and again, it's not being mean, it's not being rude, but if you're not involved in I don't even tell people what's it about on the script. You know, hey, what's the theme? What's the storyline? I don't tell them anything. I say, come and watch the film. Because, and here's another reason why I don't tell anyone. Because I don't want any of my storyline, not my storyline, Sean wrote it. I don't want any of Sean's story to get out, because I don't want anyone else to do the same thing that we're doing. And I promise you, I can almost guarantee that someone's going to do anything. Sean, just put up there, he wrote and starred, minus one joke, in the stand-up, and he did not see the film. He was the main actor in the film, and I did not let him see the film. Not until we aired it at the Crest Theater in downtown Sacramento. And I showed it to nobody. The editor and myself are the only two people that saw that film. You know, and I instruct everyone that I gave scripts to. I said, do not show the script to anybody. And they're like, oh, I won't, totally. I'm like, why would I do that? I'm like, well, if I don't tell you not to do it, then you'd be like, well, no one told me not to do it. I don't want anything. I don't want a line. I don't want a phrase. I don't want anything leaked. This is a film competition. Okay? Some of the, they've got Best Actor. Joe Cool 217, welcome to the show. They've got Audience Award. So the audience members that like the movie the most, they go and vote for it, and then there's an Audience Award. There's a Director's Choice for like most awesome stunts. There is Best 10 by 10 title, Best 10 by 10 theme, Best use of the prop, the best plot elements, bonus elements, the best film, jury, the best film audience, Director's Choice. There's like 3 of those, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor. So all these awards are given out. So say if you win an award, now, and here's another thing about being smart and doing all this film festival, doing the rules right, because when you're done and your film gets screened at the IMAX theater or anywhere for any film festival, that quick you have IMDb credit. International Movie Database. You go to IMDb right now, type in my name, Glenn Spillman. You will see my name pop up. And I will say this though. I gotta brag on myself just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Now granted, my star meter is still a little bit high, but my star meter, as far as from last week to this week, it went up 477,415. It went up that much. That's pretty freaking awesome. But it'll now if you go and you type in, you will see the 2 films that were in the film festivals that we did, one last year, earlier this year, and then the one that we're in pre-production of. And so having an IMDb, when you go and work with anybody in the industry, that's kind of like your calling card. They'll look up your name. I mean, I could be talking to someone on the phone and they'll be typing it in. I'm talking about certain actors. They'll be typing it in and it'll show all their work, what they've done, you know, all this kind of stuff. That's very important in the film industry because, say, if you go and you're, and I'm still a new filmmaker as far as having things completed, but if I go and I work with, like somebody asked me just the other day, why should I give you money for your film because you're just brand new? How do I know X, Y, and Z? And here's what I said to him. I said, well, that's a very valid question. I appreciate it. Thank you. But let me ask you a question. Maybe you might know of this person. Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino, I believe on his first film, was like $7,500. Reservoir Dogs rolling out. Quentin Tarantino, nobody knew who he was. Worked at a video store. But now he's Quentin freaking Tarantino, Academy Award winner. And people, you got to start somewhere. So I said, well, I'm just like Quentin Tarantino in this sense. I'm just starting out and I need your help. I have a vision. I have a passion. I have a team of people that have passion like I do. And we do great products. And here, go to my IMDb, look at the stand-up that we did. Look at Hush Little Baby that we did. Look at Camper's Well that we've got in pre-production. Look at Legends of the Cage, After the Final Bell that we've got. Goldberg. We've got a ton of MMA fighters that we have already signed. Look at what we've done. Hush Little Baby, we got honorable mention. We've got semifinalists in Los Angeles and Hollywood film festivals. We've been in 4 film festivals, Barcelona, Miami, Los Angeles, Chicago. Then you can tell the prospective investor, you've done this and this is our success rate. Imagine if we had just a little bit more money to make this film. I guarantee you, folks, if we get Camper's Well, if we can get $60,000 for Camper's Well, I promise you, with the talent that we have, the talent that we're going to get, and with the type of film and the subject matter that it is, you will see that film in Cannes Film Festival. You will see it at Tribeca. You will see it at South by Southwest. But we need more money. So you need to go to GoFundMe.com, type in Camper's Well, and donate. Viper38, welcome to the show. And again, folks, we're talking about how to prepare for a film challenge. Now, I will admit, and I will apologize to Sean and Donovan and Andy and a couple other people. You know, I got a little frustrated last night because we're all trying to brainstorm and we've got time crunches, and I got a little frustrated a couple times, and I apologize for that. But you got to keep your head on. I learned from my mistakes. Got to keep your head on. But I've got a good friend in Sean that kind of helps damper the steam a little bit. You got to work together. You got to throw ideas out there. You can't have 3 people. You can, but you have one person. You write the script. You got another person. Hey, you go get this. Hey, you got another person. Hey, go help me get location services. And but you got everyone to work together. And me myself, I've got to learn to kind of let things go and let other people kind of do things and go with. It takes a lot of moving parts to do anything, whether it's a car, a train, a bike, a blender, every aspect of filmmaking. But with a challenge, now we did a 48-hour challenge. We had 48 hours to do basically the same thing that we're doing now. Someone said musicals are so 1970s. Well, you know what? I hate to say, well, this is so 1970s. Screw musicals; they shouldn't be around anymore. We're progressing into being more artistic. I love all film. There are some films that I think suck, but it is still art, and the artist that did it, that's their art, that's their interpretation, that's fine. I find something, even in the worst movies I've ever seen, I find one thing in that film that I like. I always find one thing to compliment on somebody, because I'll tell you what, when I do stuff that I think is great, and then one person might make a suggestion, I'm like, oh man, that makes it so much more, or oh man, I shouldn't have done that, I kind of blew it on that, and I let my team kind of fill me in on what they think is. I don't let them run the show, and but if they have a suggestion, they pull me aside. They don't do it in front of everybody. They pull me aside and they go, hey, what about maybe doing this? And more times than not, I'm like, hey man, that sounds pretty freaking cool. But when you prepare for a film challenge, get a team. You can't do it by yourself. You got to get a team. I got this team ready 3 months. March, April, May, June, July. At least 3 months before this happened. I secured my sound guy. I said, hey, Donovan, 10x10's coming up in 4 months. Do I got you locked down for sound? And he says, absolutely. And then, there's going to be some people that are going to disappoint you and that should know stuff that don't. But that's okay. That's why you have a team. TEAM is more than one freaking person. You just go, okay, well, I can't do that, so I'm going to go count on this person over here. You have a game plan. Now, this is what you can do. It's not illegal. You can write 5 or 6 different scripts before the challenge even begins, before you get any of your information, and then you can have 5 or 6 different scripts from different genres, different storylines, and then when you get that theme from the competition, there was 2 scripts that Sean wrote freaking 6 months ago, and we could have used one of them for this theme. We absolutely could have used one of them, absolutely. But you could pre-write a script and just kind of critique it around, because what you want to do, 10 days. So it starts on a Thursday. I suggest you writing the script Thursday and all day, or half the day Friday. You get the script to people by 4 or 5 o'clock on Friday. Then you say we're filming Saturday and Sunday. So that means you've got 5 days to edit. So anything that can go wrong within that editing, and then even on my editors, I've got 2 editors. I got one guy that's doing color grading, and I got another guy doing the editing and everything else. It just frees up things. Sean says, we'd love to do a musical someday, but I cannot sing, don't know music, and well, I don't know if he could dance or not. But I was in a musical. I was in Greece. That was fun. Fun. I like musicals. I like going to them. And I like, it's just fun. I'll go see any music. I don't care what it's about. I mean, it could be about, freaking ferrets on crack. I don't care. I just love musicals. So the last thing about the film challenge, get in on one. Don't be afraid. If you've got one of these, I've got a smart pad right here. You could film on that. I've got a phone that shoots 4K. You could film on that. Film on anything. Get your experience. Because last year I made some mistakes, and this year I didn't make the same mistakes. Ask the people welcome to the show. You could film on any DSLR camera. Get a hold of your local college and be like, hey, are there any film students that would like to help me out on this? Oddly enough, you want to hear something funny? I'm still in film school because I just love to learn. I'll go to film school as long as they have different classes. I was at film school last night, and I talked to the class, and I said, hey, I told them what we were doing. I said, if anyone would like to work on the film with me, and the teacher said, if you guys work on this film and you get it completed, you will get extra credit. Not one person said that they would do it. Not one person. And that's sad. You are a film student and you don't want to work on a film. That's sad. But, ladies and gentlemen, again, for those of you just tuning in, you're listening to Cellar 13 Films. My name's Glenn Spillman, and you're listening on Armed Radio. We are in 60 different countries, over 3 million viewers and listeners worldwide throughout the week. We are on every single Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. You could follow us on Twitter, Cellar 13 Films. You could follow us on Facebook, our page, and our group, Cellar 13 Films. Same with Instagram, Cellar 13 Films. And when we started, just a little over a year ago, there have already been 3 people that have commented, man, you guys have come so far in this 1 year. You've done so much in this 1 year. Sean was on an airplane from Phoenix, Arizona, back to California. And he was talking to someone on the plane. He mentioned Cellar 13 Films, and the guy, Robert Dixon, welcome to the show, brother. The guy said, I've heard of Cellar 13 Films. And Sean was shocked. And he's still shocked when I tell this story. Someone on an airplane recognized Cellar 13 Films. And heck, I even got it tattooed on me right here, man. That little diagram right here, that was done by Jason Decker in Modesto, California. Custom made, baby. Ain't nobody on the face of the planet has that mark on them but me. If you want one, I'll give you permission to do it. Anyway, folks, I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. I appreciate everybody listening. And we will see you next week. Got to get ready. And we've got some production to do. Tomorrow we start filming. So let's get ready. Everyone in Boston listening, we love you guys. Again, go to GoFundMe.com, type in Campers Well, and donate to the cause. We're trying to get $60,000 to make this film, and I promise you, it is going to be an epic freaking film. I mean, we've got freaking Alan Carnes from Face Off. That's our effects person. Anyway, I gotta go, folks. Peace out. I love you.
Words and weapons, sharpen the knives, makes you wonder how the other half died. Devil inside, every single one.